So let's talk about Ben Simmons for a second. Everyone swore he was done and out the league. Did y'all see what happened in his Clippers debut?
I'm just taking it a play at a time. I mean, that's just my whole philosophy playing the game anyway. Just having a short-term memory in terms of the next play, focusing on the next play. So, whether it goes our way or not, getting a stop, getting a bucket is the next play after that. So,
although the stats don't jump off the page, he did better than how I expected personally. My guy dropped 10 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and had a plus 15 in the second half alone. That's not exactly washed. Now, I'm not saying he's back to all NBA form, but let's be real. If Ben Simmons is finally embracing that role player mentality and the pressure's off, he could be the best surprise the Clippers have had all season.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy to be here. Yeah, very excited to get started and get in the court. I think it's a little different, just a different experience in terms of being in Brooklyn, coming here. It's a veteran-based team, so it's a lot different, but it's time to get going straight away. There's I don't have too much time to get a rhythm, but I'm ready to get started.
Let's rewind for a moment. Remember when Ben Simmons was an all-star in Philly?
Simmons, the wraparound jam!
Locking dudes up on defense, orchestrating the offense similar to LeBron, being aggressive, dunking in transition.
I think Ben is his own makeup of speed, power, quickness, ability to pass the ball, ability to have a feel for the game. And Ben is Ben, and I am who I am.
Then the playoffs happened, the meltdown against Atlanta happened, and the entire sports world decided he was mentally fragile or scared to shoot. Fast forward to his time in Brooklyn, injuries like back issues and a headspace that just looked completely off. ESPN's own Stephen A. Smith was on TV practically every day saying Ben needed to get his mind right if he ever wanted to play at a high level again.
Where you're at with Ben Simmons, and how concerned are you that he's not going to get to where he was? Because preseason, Ben Simmons said that he would.
I'm completely disgusted with him. I am completely disgusted with Ben Simmons, and I think we all should be. I don't care at this point that he's injured. And the reason why is because too much time went by when you were not injured, when you were not playing. But you certainly made sure that your check was in your bank account every single month. We understand that mental health is a huge issue. It's serious. It's not something to be diminished or maligned in any way. But you know something? You think about your money. Every time you turned around, he thought about his money. And I'm a fan of Ben Simmons. I like him genuinely as a person. But I can't even measure the level of disappointment I have towards him.
The Athletic dropped articles suggesting he might not be physically ready for the grind of the NBA season. Fans were roasting him on social media daily, memes on top of memes, questioning his entire career. I know we all saw them on our timeline too, but that's the background. Folks had him as a lost cause. Now he's on the Clippers, low-key the land of second chances lately, and made a debut that had 2 different halves.
That buyout by Brooklyn and the Clippers jump in.
First half, honestly, he looked a little unsure. You could tell the nerves might have still been in his head, but after the break, something clicked. The second half was like a time machine back to the old Ben Simmons. He was relentless on defense, pushing the pace, and attacking the rim instead of shying away. By the end of the game, he'd racked up that 10, 4, 4, and 3 line, and the Clippers had closed a double-digit gap. The best part about all this? He was actually aggressive. And if you follow Ben at all, you know aggression is the single biggest factor in this game. One thing nobody can deny, when Ben Simmons is locked in, he's a defensive monster. He's got the length, the footwork, and the instincts to guard just about anyone. In that game, you saw him switching on the guards, wings, even bumping with bigger dudes in the paint. When the Clippers switched everything, the Jazz offense got stuck. And it's not just the blocks or steals, it's the forced turnovers, the rush shots, the little disruptions that always don't show up in the box score. Ty Lue's always talked about loving versatile defenders.
Yeah, just getting a feel for how they was playing us and getting a feel for how it would be able to play for us. And so it was new for us. It was his first game. And so I thought he did a great job just, reading the game, his IQ, making the right play, aggressive to the basket. I thought was really good for us.
Look how he uses guys like Kawhi and Derrick Jones Jr. in certain matchups. If the Clippers can turn Ben Simmons into a Swiss Army knife on defense, they might have something serious. Next to guys like Kawhi, that means they could practically switch a lot of matchups on the floor. On the offensive side, we're not expecting 20-point triple-doubles every night anymore. But the key is, if Ben Simmons accepts that, it might be the best thing for his career. Look at Draymond Green in Golden State. He's not dropping 25 a night, but the offense still flows through him because of the passing, screening, and occasional scoring. Ben Simmons could channel a similar vibe, maybe not the same style, but that same concept of impacting the game without needing 15 plus shots. During his debut, Ben got out in transition, found open shooters in the corners, and made quick dump offs to cutters. That's exactly what the Clippers need. With James Harden setting the table for everyone, and Kawhi, Norman Powell looking to cook in isolation at times, Ben just has to fill in the gaps, hit open lanes, crash the glass, and keep the ball movement going. If he's also able to knock down his free throws, that alone could be the difference between him playing late in the fourth quarter or sitting on the bench. This might be the biggest storyline. Can Ben Simmons handle being a role player mentally? Because let's be real, he used to be the guy in Philly. They drafted him to be a franchise cornerstone next to Joel Embiid. In Brooklyn, people were still expecting an all-star bounce back. That's a lot of weight on your shoulders, especially after the constant criticism. But check out what Dwight Howard did late in his career. He accepted a smaller role with the Lakers, rebranded as a hustle and energy big man, and got himself a championship ring. Sometimes swallowing your pride can extend your career by years in the NBA. This might be exactly what Ben needs. A reset with the team that's deep enough to not rely on him as a superstar, but still good enough to contend if he does his job well. You want to talk about a team that's maximizing its roster right now? Look at the Clippers. Norman Powell is suddenly playing like a borderline all-star. Zubac has been a dog, and Harden's had nights where he's looked like his old MVP version, at least in some spurts.
You logged 49 minutes tonight, and they needed you for every second of them. How are you still able to do that in year 16?
Just trying to be the best shape and condition that I can be. I told T. Lou, don't take me out the game. This is a must-win for us, seriously, because we need to go into this break with some swagger. So, and he listened, and we won the game. So, just try to do whatever it takes to win games.
Ty Lue might not get the same hype as some of the other coaches around the league, but he's proven that he could adapt on the fly and get the best out of his players.
But if Ty Lue and Jeff Van Gundy and them brothers can get Ben Simmons to play like he played last night on a consistent basis, you know what? Just rip up Ty Lue's contract. Just rip up that contract extension that he had and then double it. Double it. Because you talk about mission impossible being achieved, that would be it. If Ty Lue gets Ben Simmons to be a relevant, if Ty Lue gets Ben Simmons to be a relevant basketball player again, I'm talking about mentally, because we all know the skills there, y'all. We all know it's there. Nobody's questioning Ben Simmons' talent other than his shooting ability. We know he has everything else.
If Ty Lue can help Ben Simmons maintain his confidence, keep the pace up, and find him in spots where he can succeed, that's a huge W for both sides. Plus, you got Kawhi and James Harden on the squad. They're vets with big expectations. If Ben Simmons sees that they're locked in on a championship run, maybe that flips the switch for him too. Sometimes being around proven leaders helps a guy mentally re-engage. Of course, none of this matters if Ben Simmons can't stay on the floor. Back issues, knee soreness, that type of stuff plagued him in Brooklyn. It's one thing to look good in a single game or a handful of stretches. It's another to show up healthy for 60 plus games. According to the Athletics injury reports from last season, Ben rarely felt 100%. But if the Clippers training staff can manage his workload and keep him feeling fresh, that consistency could return. He doesn't need to average 38 minutes a night. A solid 25 to 30 minutes of high energy, two-way ball is more than enough on a team this stacked. If he can keep that intensity and aggression, we're talking about a potential difference maker in the playoffs. Alright, so here's the $1 million question. Is this just a one-night stand of a game? Or is this retooled Ben Simmons actually back for good? Remember, the league is all about what have you done for me lately. If Simmons put together a solid few weeks, hitting free throws, playing amazing defense, creating those great IQ plays, people are going to forget the past year real quick. But if he disappears again or looks passive, everyone will be right back in his head. Personally, low-key, I think the Clippers are a good fit for him. They're not desperate for a star, but they appreciate anyone who can defend, pass, and make plays in transition. And if Ben Simmons starts to feel the love from LA fans, trust me, Clippers fans can get hype, especially when you show heart. He might regain that confidence he needed. Sometimes it's all about the environment. This is his shot to prove that he could still be a high-level contributor in the NBA. So was the second half performance a sign of things to come, or just a random spike in another rocky journey? I'm leaning towards optimism here, to be honest. If Ben Simmons could stay healthy and locked in, this could be one of the best under-the-radar moves the Clippers have ever made. And if he flames out again, well, we've been down that road before. I want to hear from y'all. Is Ben Simmons about to reinvent himself as the ultimate role player? Or are we looking at another false start? Let me know y'all takes in the comments below. Because if he keeps playing like this, the Clippers might have found the missing piece to shake up the West. If you're rocking with this content, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more, and stay tuned. We'll see if Ben Simmons can keep flipping the narrative, or if the watch label returns. Either way, you know we'll be here to talk about it. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.